First Class Podcast.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This is another episode of First Class Podcast. I am your host, E. Carter. I'm here with the First Class crew, CGO in the corner, and we got that guy 937 at the bottom.
With the Steno pad.
You said what?
With the Steno pad. That was on my second grade list, the little Stenos.
Oh, yeah.
I still got me one over here to the side too, James, bro. Shout out to the Steno pad.
Real quick, Siege. Turn that cup around, bro. No, the other way.
You got it, bro.
No, the other way.
Just for you.
No, the other way.
The other way, I'll do that too, bro. Look.
Put some tape on it or something, bro.
The other way.
We don't. What he be saying, James? They don't sponsor us.
They don't sponsor us.
Hey, in fact, they definitely don't. So I definitely am coming next time with an all one color cup.
Hey, but not. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, all bias aside, if the Browns did hit us up, was like, yeah, start wearing our merch. I wouldn't wear it, but I definitely condone it if they sponsored the show.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna just put a drop of green screen in the back. I'm gonna just everything on me Browns at that point on my screen.
Yeah, for you, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can rock that all you want. I'm
gonna hit him with the T'Challa. Oh, we don't do that here.
Right. Is this your king? Like what? No. But anyway, man, y'all doing all right?
Yes, sir. How y'all feeling?
You already know.
Good.
I'm good.
So if you're new to the show, we always try to start off with some type of inspirational quote, words of encouragement, so have you. This week we're gonna drop two. So James has one, and then I also have one as well. We're gonna go ahead and drop two of them. So if you wanna start off with yours first, James.
Yeah, all right, I got you. Mine's is children are not things to be molded, but are people to be unfolded. And I like that one. That one was real unique for real. I'm gonna say it one more time. Children are not things to be molded, but are people to be unfolded. So I kind of took from that, like Shrek was saying, we like onions, you know what I mean? There's layers, you know what I mean? Layers and layers and layers as far as the personal development of your children and who they turn out to be, their strengths and weaknesses. And that's for us to help not only coddle those, but to help them kind of develop for real, but getting to let them be who they are. You get what I'm saying? And,
right.
And helping them to get where they're trying to get to.
Right, for sure. The one I got, like I said, the show is pertaining to kids, man. The title is Parents Just Don't Understand how tough it is. But anyway, my quote goes, children are like wet cement. Whatever falls on them leaves an impression. I'm going to say that one more time. Children are like wet cement. Whatever falls on them makes an impression. Basically, what I'm taking from that is that, like they say, kids are sponges. They soak up, they gravitate, you know what I'm saying, towards the things that they're around. And if you're familiar with how cement works, when you put it down wet, you're not supposed to touch it. If you don't touch it, it's going to be perfect, exactly how whatever that mold is supposed to be. But as soon as you place something on top of it, a hand, a foot, a rock, a bottle cap, anything, that impression is going to leave into that wet cement. and then it's going to be there forever. So take that when you're raising these kids, whether you're a mom, dad, auntie, uncle, grandparent, the things that you showing around these kids can leave a impression that they're going to carry with them for the rest of their life. So always be mindful of that. Those are 2 quotes of the week or 2 quotes of the day, whatever you want to call it, man. Take it with you. Think about it as you're looking at your kids, because back to school is in session.
Right around the corner.
Right. So, you got a lot of deals, and I wish I knew some offhand. I don't know. I have to actually probably get on Facebook and look it up. I know I shared a couple of things on my personal page when I come across some of this tax-free weekend and some of the little events they're having for back to school. So parents, be mindful of that. If you can catch a deal, man, go for it. We all know it's tough around this time, especially when you have kids in general, but especially when you got multiple. You know what I'm saying? So that's 2 sets of book bags, 3 sets of book bags, 3 sets of notebooks.
Uniforms, man, because that non-uniform sticky.
Right. Uniforms, just if they're not in uniform clothes, just, it's a lot. So if you can catch a deal on some of these sales, especially tax-free weekend that's coming up, be on the lookout for that. I will share stuff on my page. Yes, it is next weekend. Thank you for your comment. Tax-free weekend is next weekend. Be mindful of that. Like I said, if I come across anything on my personal page, I'll definitely share it there and try to share it on our First Class page as well. So be on the lookout for that. Y'all got anything before we get started? Anything about the quotes or anything like that?
I feel left out, bro. My quote is, "The Siege is the world's greatest."
Oh, no.
He said, take that with you. Take that
Chew
with
on that one now. I'm just messing with y'all. I'm just messing with y'all.
Real quick, we just got a quick comment from our producer on the side that said, in fact, Siege is not the greatest. He is the second greatest.
I'm the producer on the side. I'm on the side. On this side. And I'm the greatest.
Type deal. But let's go ahead and get it started, fellas. So anybody, like I said, if you are new to the show, don't hesitate to comment, leave your concerns, suggestions, tips, tidbits, whatever the case may be, how you feel about certain stuff. It's a community here. We're a family. We're just sitting down holding a conversation. So don't hesitate to comment and jump into the convo. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get this kicked off. So about a week or so ago, it was a video that about Dwight Howard. Now, we're not talking about none of his sexual allegations or anything like that. He was training his son. I'm not sure how old his son was. I'll say at most maybe 12. You know what I'm saying? At youngest maybe 9, give or take. I don't know. But he was still relatively young, and he was training him on a mechanical bike. He was on the bike, and his son was crying and sweating and screaming and kicking and, I want to quit. I want to stop. I'm done. And he just kept pushing them to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. I don't care that you're crying. I don't care that it hurts. I want you to keep going. So that's the video, and that's what they were talking about. Now, the reason why I brought this up is because I went to a lot of the different comments, and a lot of people was like, oh, that's child abuse. He's being, this is how you develop childhood trauma. And a lot of negativity behind that video. So with that, I know a lot of these different dads, like ex-pro athletes, or just dads in general that's, athletes or wants to just train their kids in general. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if y'all seen it, but did he cross the line with training his son and trying to tell him that, no, I don't care that you're crying. No, I don't care that it hurts. I want you to keep going and keep pushing. Did he cross the line, or are people being just a little bit too sensitive? James,
definitely. I most definitely feel like that's why kids these days is soft. Shouts out to Uncle Bernie. That's why Uncle Bernie always said the generation of kids is soft. They soft because, for one, in general, yeah, that whole too sensitive type deal is what it is. But I really think it's a father. Like fathers really understand that for real. Like I used to feel like when we were together or whatever the case may be, when I'm with especially when I'm with my son, when it comes to discipline and or just even working out or just trying to push them to be great, I don't even like they mom and stuff around. I'm like, oh, poor baby, you going too hard on them. Like, bro, stuff like that when it comes to that and you really want to see them reach their potential, no, you're not going to quit. You're going to get right back out there and you're going to finish it until it's done. Period. I don't see anything wrong with it. I feel like taking that narrative of, oh, well, you too hard on them. In most case scenarios that I've seen, those kids actually turn out to be better than children that didn't have that.
Right.
From their father, for real. You know, my father didn't really pour anything into me, or he wasn't really there, or I never really had anybody show me. I remember one instance of a Wilders was a couple years ago. I took my son out to go teach him how to put air in the tire. You know, you got to be in that one position to unscrew it. You got to hold the thing in there. You got to hit the little lever to start producing the air to put in your tire. You know, he was not happy at all. I guess because of the awkward position. He's like, oh, my arm. And no, boy, hold it. Hold it until it's done. But I feel like that worked out in a positive way. So now if I ask him to put air in the tire or something like that, you know how to do it.
Right.
I don't feel like, you know, it's anything wrong like that. I'm here to ensure that you finish things to its all entirety. You ain't raising no quitter, man.
Right. What about you, Siege? What's your take on it?
See, I think people get a hold of like one piece of evidence to say so that they can say like to be outraged about something, and like we got to think about what abuse actually is, right? So yeah, there could be verbal and mental abuse or whatever. Like if he kept doing it and he could see his son physically couldn't take it no more, like his son body literally shut down on him. Like, all right, he was telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? Didn't let him stop. You know what I'm saying? Pick back up again later on. But there's more evidence to show that fathers that do that type of thing, I'm one of them. I want to see what you got, number one. And number two, you're doing it while you're crying and telling me that you can't do it. You're literally still proceeding with the action. You know what I'm saying? So while I'm telling you, like, I don't care about you crying. I don't never say that to my son just because I actually do care and I ain't about to lie. But you know what I'm saying? I'll be like, man, that don't matter right now. Like, you got a goal, you got a mission. Let's complete this goal. Let's complete this mission. Now, when I physically see he can't take it no more, he on the ground crying, throwing up or something like, all right, maybe I pushed him a little bit, you know what I'm saying, a little bit overboard. Then that's when the fatherhood kick in. Look, I apologize, son. You know what I'm saying? Being that kind of dad too. But they don't see that side. I'll give you another example. It's a former NBA player, and he is a trainer now. He does the same thing to his son. His son said he wanted to be a hooper. So he has his whole Instagram, everything. Like when he trains his son, he's filming it. He went viral in a positive way. Said the exact same thing Dwight Howard did. But the difference is the camera kept recording the aftermath because he was the one with the camera. Right? So you seeing after the son is crying and tears and all that, finishes the workout, then you finally hear the dad say, that's what I'm talking about. You said you couldn't do it, but you completed the mission. You completed the goal. That's my boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? I knew that you knew I would stop you if you couldn't do it. Like that type of stuff. The belief that the father instills after the fact. We didn't get to see that with Dwight Howard. So people should just like pump the brakes on the abuse word. And I'm not saying there's not abuse, because there's a lot of fathers, a lot of mothers, a lot of uncles, aunties, whatever the role is in kids' lives that abuse children. But in this specific case, this is the type of work that I had to put in and become an NBA champion. This is the type of work that I had to, type of things that I had to overcome. I see you putting in the work. You're still doing it while you're telling me not to do it. That's not, your pain is not that important right now. The important part is the mission. Let's complete the mission. I know you got it. Let's get it. And then we can talk about it afterwards. Like, that's where I feel he was coming from. Like,
facts. Now, this topic alone, I ain't gonna lie. So a couple of clips in here, Siege, bro. I hope you're writing this down, bro, for the edit meeting, bro. Cause hey, y'all just dropped a couple of gems in y'all two responses. I ain't even gonna hold you. And damn, I gotta go last. No, I'm just playing. But no, I agree with both of y'all, man. I think people over exaggerate. Now I know both of y'all have sons, so you know what I'm saying. Y'all coming from the the father to son aspect of it. So for me, it's the opposite. I got girls, but I'm coming from the child that played sports, and then my father was the one that was pushing me like that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I can remember my earliest memory of a situation like that. I was 3, 4 years old, and it was on my birthday. And I know I've told this story before, so you know I'm not lying. So it was on my 3rd or 4th birthday. We was at a park. My dad said, "Hey, come on, let's take a little walk with me on the trail." So I'm like, "All right, cool." So it really wasn't no trails. He made his own trails. You know what I'm saying? If you know my dad, he liked hiking and stuff like that. He might tell you, "Hey, let's go walk this trail." You're not walking on the trail at all. You about to walk in some terrain, like for real. So we walking through the woods, and he talking to me and all of that type stuff. And then there was this hill. So we get to going. He's like, "All right, we're gonna get to the. Can you make it to the top of the hill?" I'm trying to impress my dad. I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, cool. Let's see." He take off up the hill. I get to going. I slide down. I get going. I slide down. He's still working with me. He didn't go all the way to the top. He playing the middleman, trying to push me. I kept getting halfway and falling down. Halfway and falling down. I started crying. I started complaining. No, I can't get up there. I can't make it all the way to the top. So eventually, he just kept going to the top and started coaching me from the top. Like, "Hey, this is where you want to go. Stop crying. Stop complaining. Dig deep. Do what you got to do to get up here. You know what I'm saying? Pull the grass up. Pull the mud up. Grab a stick. You use that to get your body up. Do whatever it is that you have to do to get up here." And eventually I got mad, I got angry, and not only getting mad and angry, I got motivated. You know what I'm saying? So with that motivation, I ended up getting to the top of the hill. And once like you said, Siege, people don't see the aftermath of that. You know what I'm saying? So the aftermath was, as soon as I got to the top, he said, "Turn around." So I turned around, and he's like, "Now look how far you've came. You kept getting halfway. You kept getting halfway. You kept sliding. You couldn't get your footing right. Everything didn't go the way you thought it was going to go when you started. But you kept fighting, and now you're at the top. It's done." You know what I'm saying? It's finished. So what a lot of people don't see is, like you said, those motivation, those are life-changing experiences. So that next task that you got, you're going to think about those moments. You know what I'm saying? And what a lot of people don't know is that when you're working out, not even just working out, when you're doing anything and something becomes too challenging, your initial thought process is, "This is too tough, I quit." The people who don't quit are the people that are more successful in life. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not always just pertaining to sports. You know what I'm saying? It could be you trying to learn the piano. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the great musicians out here that we have, if they would have quit the first time they met a challenge, they would have never got to that plateau of their career. You know what I'm saying? So as far as people saying that they being too hard and all of that type stuff, personally, man, y'all just need to stop being soft. Like it's cool. It's a lot of, and I know a lot of women say it because a lot of women don't go through that. You know what I'm saying? You grow up, you grow up with that "I'm a princess" type of lifestyle, to where if it's too tough, don't worry. Dad's gonna get it, or your uncle's gonna get it, or your big brother's gonna get it for you. Don't worry about it. But as a boy, you're trying to train your sons to be a man, and sometimes you have to keep pushing through. You got to push through that first wall to get to where you're trying to go.
I also look at that as I even still just like actually I just told her this about 2-3 days ago. You gonna have your chance too to know how to pump gas, to know how to put your air in your own
Oh yeah,
tire.
for sure.
That's-
Stuff like that is like it's basic
Yeah.
tools that you need to learn.
You
Yeah,
need to
for
get
sure.
your own. Yeah, you're gonna be.
But
You gonna
even-
be naughty. She gonna be crying and wow.
But even pushing past the goal, though, I think we shouldn't limit pushing past the goal and training. Like, for instance, if one of the girls say they want to hoop or run track, like you still not about to quit. Like, what are you talking
Oh,
about?
yeah,
Like,
no, for sure.
Like, nah, you got to run this thing. I want to see what you got too. Like, you got.
Yeah, but the only reason why I specifically said boys is just because for the purpose of the actual video, the video was a young boy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like there's
Also-
no limit to it.
Also,
like,
too, real quick, one of the points, you made a good point when you brought up the women though, because you specifically said they grow up with that princess lifestyle. That's because the parents already put that on them. Like they think it's a difference between how. Obviously, men and women are two different, you know what I'm saying, two different entities or whatever. They have each male and female are put on this earth, created on this earth for two particular divine purposes, but they all intertwine. Like and I'll just say this: one thing I love about my sisters is because they grew up with me, me and my brother on their heads. Like, nah, y'all gotta. Hey, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, what y'all want to go hoop? Then we all hooping. Like, hey, y'all want to step out here? We taking you out your ankles too. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like, it's like, yes, women should have that. Women they have a particular reverence that they should have as women, just like men have specific reverence that we should have, authority, respect as a man. But at the same time, I think when it comes to those traits, like pushing past the goal, being strong, and which I just came up with another topic on the top right off the top of my dome. This got to be on one of the shows soon, pertaining to this specific thing. But anyway, they got traits that a lot of people say they shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? Are you a woman? You shouldn't have this. Whereas I look at it and I'm like, dang, so you don't want your woman to be strong? You don't want your woman to have goals? You don't want her to have no vision? You don't want her to, like, you just want to be the one with the vision? Like, what if you don't got no vision? You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's a story for another day. But I'm saying and I know because we done had these conversations before, and I know you do some of this because we brothers. We talk almost every other day. But for the masses, it's like that shouldn't be those things, those interior intangibles, like strength and having a vision or being able to push past the mark. That shouldn't be mutually exclusive just because it's a dude, man.
Right. So real quick before we move on, we do got a comment. Sean, shout out to S. Foster. He said, if you want, hold on, can I pull it up? Bingo. I'm gonna drop it. If you want somewhat or some kind of greatness from your child, you have to tell them if something is not good. If something is not good, tell them. My youngest son, first year of b-ball, I made him cry because he asked me if he played good. I told him no, because he wasn't playing defense. Have the truth or basically say the truth even when it hurts at 8 years old, basically. So with that being said, like I agree, like I said, my youngest she's just getting into her little athletic journey. She's starting her first little sport and activity, which is cheerleading. And right now she's motivated. So she's like, hey Dad, I need to get faster, so I need to run. I gotta run every day. You know what I'm saying? So, and she's 6. So it's like, all right. Now was, James, like you said, like, don't mold them, let them unfold, let them embark on their own little potential. And at the same time, with the quote that I said earlier as well, now it's time to make a good impression on the values of working out. Like, yeah, you 6, I'm not about to push you to the brink at 6, but at the end of the day, I know you're not going to quit on that first time your brain tells you no. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, I'm tired, I'm done. Like, no, you're not. Keep going. You know what I'm saying? You still got some more in you. Like, I know you do. You know what I'm saying? So, like that with your children, that's what you need to do. I think a lot of parents these days then got too comfortable doing the gentle parenting thing. Now, there's nothing wrong with it, but I think that it's a time and a place for all of that. And I think if you're trying to push your children beyond something, like I said, it doesn't have to. We're not talking about just sports, but if you're trying to push your children beyond something, you need that gentle parenting might have to go out the window. Like, oh, you practicing your instrument? I don't like it. It's not as easy as I thought it would be. Okay, I still need you to go in that room and practice for an hour. You know what I'm saying? I still need you to do. You said you wanted to play this instrument. Now you got to practice and put in the work. Oh, but I don't like it right now. Well, nobody said it was going to be easy. I still, you know what I'm saying? That gentle parenting got to go out the window, especially when you're trying to push your children to be, to dig a little bit deeper to be successful. Like, okay, because you don't want to raise your children to quit at every obstacle. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, something's in my way. Nope, I'm done. Like, come on now. Like, you don't want that. And so you got to start early in these different activities and different situations that they want to get into, because if not, next thing you know, now your grown child is here, and now you mad at them because now they quitting everything.
That reminded me of a picture I see from time to time, and it's got a top and a bottom image, and basically it's one of those never quit type deals at the top, and then you got the guy at the very bottom who, I mean, it's like he's working in a mine or something like that, and he's got a diamond, like he was mining for what he was looking for, and he found his diamond, where the guy at the top ended up quitting, but he only had this much. If he would have kept going this much more, he would have had a plethora of diamonds, but because of the fact he quit, he never got what he wanted, and it was right there. He was right on the brink of what he was looking for, but never was able to achieve it because of having that quitter spirit. For real, that's what it made me think of. For real,
that's a good analogy. And I got one more thing to add. I got one more thing to add. Gentle parenting is effective method of parenting. So, you know what I'm saying? We're not saying it's definitely not the method, but it is an effective method of parenting. But I look at it like this, right? So my ex-wife, for instance, she is a psychologist. She loves the gentle parenting, and I agree with her up to a certain level, like E said, right? So we had a conversation. I let my kids have their emotions. Hey, it's okay to feel this way. It's okay to cry. It's okay to do this. But it's a time and place for everything. Now, I'll gentle parent my kids until it's time to bring wrath. And I'll give you people a perfect example. God is the same way. Like I told you last time, I said, do stuff right the first time when God tells you to do it, is because He's going to keep telling you, like, okay, do this. Now stay away from these kind of people. Okay, eat this kind of food. Okay, do this. Okay, do that. All right, now y'all not listening. Now I got to give y'all these 10 laws. Y'all ain't listening. Oh, y'all still want to play? All right, burn it down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, yeah. And I'm not saying that's a simplistic way of looking at it, but I'm saying anger, righteous anger, is not anything to be ashamed of. It's like it's up to a certain line. Just like if I'm not here and my kids keep messing up, the world is going to bring it upon them. I'd rather them get it from me than get it from out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to learn that hard lesson from me. Hopefully you can turn away from those ways before you go out here and figure it out. Because you figure it out with me, I can bring some love and understanding to it. The world don't love you. So you would be homeless. You would be whatever it is, making similar mistakes because you didn't pay attention or you gave up too early, or, you know what I mean? So,
and not only that is that I'll let you do it. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I'll let you do it. So
yeah, you have to get that structure from somewhere, and it should be in the comfort of a loving environment. So if I would rather push you to the brink and then come back and love you behind it, then you go out there, get pushed to the brink, and you fall apart and you can't do it no more. Now I'm watching my son, or, you know what I'm saying, or niece and nephews or whatever go through something I never intended them to go through because I didn't want to teach them the right way.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. So long story short, man, I don't think, you know what I'm saying, Dwight Howard crossed the line with training his son. I've seen a lot of different videos with dads training their sons from basketball, football, baseball, soccer, and it's all going to be the same thing. You know, that, like you said, that's that's that dad role. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to, especially if it's something that your children want to succeed in, you got to push them to succeed. You know what I'm saying? Um, pressure make diamonds. We all know that. So with that one being said, we're gonna move on to the next topic, man. Next topic is not as serious, but it is kind of serious. It's a question. So, what if after 10 years you find out the child that you've been raising is not yours? All right, that's cool. Don't everybody pondering on it. Okay.
Everybody's kind of laid back like, oh.
But well, see, you try to go somewhere real quick.
Why don't you start us off with this one?
All right. After 10 years, I'm done. Relationship over. You know what I'm saying? Relationship over. Like, hey, what? I believe, like, okay, you do have a connection. You know what I'm saying? Because you've been raising this child for 10 years, but after that, you got to find out who the daddy is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Contact the dad. Like, at the same time, would I still have a relationship with that child if the child wants? Possibly. But other than that, nah, I'm done. You need to, you know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of people gonna be like, well, it's not the child's fault. It's not the child's fault. But at the same time, I've been being this dad role, and then I find out that the child is not even mine. At the end of the day, I feel betrayed. So I'm supposed to still continue to do something after the betrayal? Me personally, I don't think so. So if we going on 10 years, married, not married, just your baby mama, whatever the case may be, and they like, hey, yo, come to find out, you're not even the pappy. Like, what? I'm not that baby's pappy. You do the DNA test, come out, you not. Like, oh yeah, it's a wrap. Like,
I think some of these women need to get crucified and canceled for that. And the reason why I say that is because, and I think in some of them situations I've seen where, the baby daddy or the father or whoever, the now known stepfather, have been doing stuff like paying child support and all this other stuff. Like, these women need to get crucified, bro. They need to get canceled. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100, and that's because they're not taking accountability for their actions. You know what I mean? Yeah, you was a little thotty. You did something you ain't had no business doing, and then you led me to believe not only me, but I feel like that also hurts the child in the long run. I know my father didn't know. He kind of knew that his stepfather was his stepfather, but he found out later on in life when he was like 10 or so, for real. And so internally, he had a lot of, I'd say, he felt some type of way about it. You get what I'm saying? Because he found out much later than, instead of just shooting it straight with me. You get what I'm saying? That's kind of like making a decision for them, for real. And I most definitely don't agree with that, for real. Now, me being a stepfather, there's no greater joy in the world than to step up where another man couldn't. You get what I'm saying? But to withhold that information for an extended period of time, I feel like that's doing more harm to the child. Child is actually going to dislike you, for real.
I don't look at it as a way of like stepping up where another man couldn't. I feel like I agree with that's kind of what it is in certain situations. I look at it as like the kid has a positive person to look up to. You know what I mean? I'm not in a similar role as that, but I do have a child in my home that's not biologically mine, but his mother is still around, and you know what I'm saying? And my ex-wife, who's her sister, we all a team. You know what I mean? So it's not like I'm coming in taking that role of like she not coming in taking a role as mom because his mom's still around and all that stuff. It was just a unique situation in our particular case. You know what I mean? Now, from the dad perspective, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to get into his father or nothing like that because everybody got their own demons to fight. I'm not here to judge nobody. But I will say this. I was fortunate enough to have, my stepfather come in. Obviously, we knew who my father was. And we, I know my father he was around too, but my stepfather took it upon himself when he didn't have to teach me certain things that I needed to learn as a young man. So you see my kids in the back. I'm on the show. Go back there and play. They're gonna have to wait.
I seen that door come open behind you. Like,
Right. They don't know. They have no chill. I'm like, hey, I got a show. Hey, I need y'all to relax. They like, whatever. I'm coming to get dad. Somebody knocked at the door. They can wait. We can have provisions for somebody who try to force their way in here. Anyway, that's a story for another day. But I'm just saying I was fortunate enough to have that dynamic of somebody who came in when I didn't have to. And my dad, of course, had his deficiencies at the time. And then my stepfather, he came in and pulled his weight and did what he had to do, showed me some other ways that was, beneficial for me now. So I don't necessarily go that route to say step in where another man. I don't get joy out of that. I would rather the other person come in and join this squad. You know what I'm saying? And I'll give you one quick example of why I think that way, right? So my mom and my father, biological father, they had some disputes, about custody and all of that when we was kids. And I hated it, man. It was one of the worst points in my life. Like, stuff going back and forth, all of the bravado and people taking words and twisting them and trying to figure out how they can make one thing seem so they can get the kids, or, you know what I'm saying? Trying to manipulate us, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. When all they had to do was come up with a decent plan, cordial plan, and could have made it work. So when I got divorced, I made it a point to say, you know what I'm saying? If somebody come into your life, as long as they're not interrupting my fatherhood, because, we got some clowns out here that are coming to a woman's life and be like, no, this is my kid, blah, 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 blah. As long as I don't got to deal with that, because it's another form of repercussions coming with that. You know what I'm saying? But, and I ain't even going to say repercussions, but it's another form of me that's going to come with me not being able to see my kids. That's just how I feel about it. I'm a dad 100%. That's what I was born to be. So you're not going to keep me from him. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? So I just let it be known, if you have somebody else and this is a good guy and, we vet him, see what's going on, then cool. I also operate from the standpoint of we all gonna be a team. There ain't going to be no disrespect going on. Then I'm going to protect you because you're the mother of my kids, and then I'm going to protect them kids. He last. You know what I'm saying?
But I feel both of y'all, but y'all both definitely avoided the question.
Yeah.
No. To answer the question, but to answer the question, 10 years later, if I found out that my kids wouldn't be mine,
I'd be mad.
It's to me, it's a non-question because they're already my kids. Now dealing with her, oh yeah, it's gonna be another story. I got to find a lawyer or something. We got to figure this out. But I'm just saying. After I love somebody for 10 years, I can't just go back on it. That's just not in my nature.
But guess what? You just said with her, it's over. You loved her for 10 years, and it's over at the drop of a dime. So if you can't,
it'll be over for that time. Then I had to take a long break, and God would have to come down and send showers of love back in my heart, because that love will turn into hate real quick.
Yeah, I feel it. Well, what were you about to say, James?
No, I was gonna say, there comes a point to where I feel like personally, there would have to be some space between you and the kid, because Lord knows what the kid will be thinking for real. Like, dang, like, maybe I want to find him. Maybe I don't want to find him.
Right.
Why do you keep him from me? Where does he live? Does he look like me?
But you're supposed to encourage that, though, bro. Like, as a grown man, bro, you can't come in between no kid and be like, oh, you want to find your dad, but I'm your dad. Like, nah, bro. Bro, if you want to find him, let's find him. Let's figure it out. Just like how I can understand when E said you loved her too. I could see a scenario in my head to where a woman would be scared to tell you that she made a bad decision. Because as a man, I done been there. Like, oh, bro, I done messed up today, boy. This is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I can see it.
But 10 years? 10 years. You raising the kid for 10 years.
That's why I said it's going to take some time, because 10 years, we most definitely living together in 10 years. So, yeah, I'm going to have to grab my shit, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I can't abandon the kid, bro. Like, but
it's not. I don't think it as abandoned. I think people first go to that place like, oh, well, it's been my child for 10 years. No, technically, yeah, but actually, it never was your child. It's not your child. That's not your seed. So at that point, like I said, I've been bamboozled. So now I need to go and now I need to continue making these sacrifices I was already making on a lie.
Not the same sacrifices though. You can modify the sacrifice.
But I'm saying if you're saying that you're a dad, if you're saying like no, that's already my child. So what sacrifices are you gonna take back? You're gonna take
support.
back.
If I gotta pay child support, that's off the table.
I mean, yeah. But I'm just saying. But if you with somebody, you know, of course it's different situations. You feel me? Like if you already split up in a chick, it's just your baby mama, and then she tell you've been paying child support for 10 years. Of course, yeah, we taking that shit to court. That's done, of course. Now you still paying that. You just stupid at that point. like, come on, dude. Like I can't even be friends with somebody like that.
I really in love, boy.
I don't even care. I can't even be friends with a dude like that. Like even if it was one of y'all my brothers. I love y'all to death. But if y'all was in a situation to where you find out the baby ain't yours 10 years later and you like, bro, I'm gonna still do my duty and pay this child support, you know. I don't care how you word it. I'm like, all right, bro, that's cool, bro. Hey, you know what, man? I love you, bro. I hope you know you get everything you deserve.
I still hate you from time to time, baby. See how you doing, bro. But you can't manage. You not the treasurer, bro.
About to say, maybe
you ain't the treasurer.
And that's a big maybe. I might still check on you. Other than that, if somebody asks, like, bro, how's such and such doing? Like, bro, I don't know, bro. That nigga, hey, he got to figure some stuff out, bro. So
stuff going on.
Yeah,
I still feel like I feel like it's a two-sided deal. I feel like ain't no real man that's been messing with a kid just gonna be like, all right, well, you know, I just ain't deal with you. Right. But I feel like you know, the love is gonna be there, but I see it both ways, and really, especially according to the woman, because a lot of women like that, I can't trust you. I really can't trust nothing
at all.
Talking about a mistake that took 10 years to correct. And then it's like, all right, because the question is always, okay, well, who is it that? Well, where is he? What happened? There's going to be a lot of questions and there needs to be a lot of answers. And then too, like I kind of say, like, you know, there have been times where, you know, me and my daughter, you know, she had to meet her dad. You know, I encouraged that. I encouraged her to meet her real dad. I encouraged her to try to get to know her family. And then when things got to a point to where it didn't benefit her and it was causing mental harm or something like that, and I had to take her away from that situation, oh yeah, that got handled quick.
Yeah, for sure. Like some situations like that, of course. Like I said, at the end of the day, it was a question that just came up, and I'm like, that it's tricky. Like I said, it's tricky because, like you both said, you can't just automatically be like, oh well, this is not my child. Nice life, everybody. Like, no, you didn't love the child.
I can't be mad at you if you choose to do
that. No, I mean, I can't be mad at you. I like actually mad at you. I can't be mad at you. At the same time, it's like,
I'll be like, dang,
but at the same time, you can't just.
He said yes.
But you can't just turn it. It's not a switch. You know what I'm saying? You didn't change diapers. You didn't potty train. You didn't been there for sick nights. You've been there for all of that. So
y'all picture him in 10 years, the controller out the kid's head, like, yeah, give me this. This my 5. This my Wii. Give me that Switch. I was able to give me my 70-inch TV. It's over, baby.
Nah, like, but yeah, so it's a tricky situation, man. But like I said, man,
that's a skip
it's
for
tough.
sure.
Yeah,
and I'm eating all the fruit snacks, bro. I'm eating all them fruit snacks I bought, bro.
You get 19. You get 19. But yeah, so everybody that's watching, man, go ahead, drop a comment, man. What would you do if after 10 years you found out the child that you was raising is not yours? So we might leave it as an open discussion throughout the week as we promote the show and stuff like that. So leave your comments and everything like that. Before we get to the last topic, we are going to take a quick detour to Culture Corner. You know what I'm saying?
That's when my introduction start. And I just turn around like,
hold on. I got something for you.
What you got?
We'll be right back with Culture Corner after this. We're back.
What up, world?
You
It's
see
your
me
guy,
already.
that guy 937 from Culture Corner. So today we got some hot topics already lined up. Shouts out to the new Instagram page. We just started one. It's under construction, but we're gonna get there. It's first_class_podcast_937. Be looking out for new content and new information coming, especially not only just from First Class Podcast, but from Dayton's very own Culture Corner. Now let's get into it. My fault. I had to flip the page. There we All right,
My
so
dude.
at the top of the latest news, man. Tupac's ring that he had that was a custom made ring was for sale and was purchased by $1 million by no other than Drake. Drake
Drake
buying
was the
a
one who
whole lot
bought
of
it.
stuff. Huh?
Drake was the one who bought it.
Drake was the one that bought it.
That's what's so
I ain't gonna lie, that's a little dangerous talking about because there's a new disc that he also has out when he's dissing Pharrell and Pusha T, and he's basically in the disc he was saying how he bought Pharrell's infamous chain that he had with the little people on there and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Talking about he burnt those or melted them. I'm like, bro, man, it's a dangerous thing to be. But shouts out to Drake having that customized ring. He was the one that bought it.
That was a cold ring. I didn't know Drake bought it though.
Yeah, he did.
Keeping hip hop inside of hip hop.
Might as well. I mean, he already got the toilets that seen Tupac or whatever when you're using it. So shouts out to Drake for that one. As far as the other news, Bronny James is recovering well after he had the cardiac arrest incident. So shouts out to Bronny. Hope you get a full speedy recovery. Sites have been seen with Jamie Foxx. Salute. Good thing to have our brother Jamie Foxx back. Shouts out to Bryce James. Apparently there's a situation where there was a fan that had wanted to take a picture with Bryce James. It looked like he was at some type of local store or whatever the case may be. And the fan that took a picture with him started throwing up gang signs next to Bryce. Bryce stood his ground, and he was just like, nah, we ain't doing that. So shouts out to Bryce for being his own man for real. I know he still is a young man. They still are can be persuaded to go different ways, especially because of being born into stardom. But shouts out to that young brother for making a good decision to stand his ground and be the man, be his own man.
Facts. Hey, real quick, a comment on that. I did see a video this morning when I was doing some more research for another podcast. Bronny James was playing the keys. He was up playing the keys and walking around, bro. So that was good to see. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say about that one. Yep.
Yeah. So shouts out to the James family. You know what I mean?
Real quick, man, but about Jamie Foxx, man. You know they cloned him, right?
Man, stop
saying
that. I ain't gonna lie. That's what
they cloned Tyrone, bro, not Jamie Foxx.
Hey, not on this show. We don't do that here. We do not do that here. Right. Don't do that, bro. Right. Don't do that, bro. He was sick, bro. Don't do that, bro. No, because actually, even speaking of that, Ice-T had some things to say about it, saying that basically people are stupid, man. The guy was really sick. That's one. And then for two, there was somebody else that was talking about how his hair looks longer in this one than it does this one. And somebody said it could have been the way that the camera actually shot that.
People need to find something to do, bro. Y'all trying to find evidence of clones. Find something to do.
Yeah.
That's what they doing.
It also doesn't help that they talking about UFOs bro. And they're going to have a big press.
You said find something to do. That's what they doing. They trying to find
evidence something else to do. Find something else to do.
I'm trying to tell you, bro.
And then too, like they said, out of all the people they're gonna clone, they're gonna start cloning black people.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that's an easy one to see why they would do that. But anyway, that's an argument we can have on the show. Moving
on.
There's so many ways they would reason why they would do that. But anyway,
I'm just saying, bro. They
didn't clone Jamie Foxx.
It just seemed kind of ironic. He was doing a movie about them cloning Tyrone. Then he got sick. Next thing you know what I'm saying?
Nah, not right now, bro.
They already said aliens was real, and everybody just didn't even bat an eye. They was like, yeah, we have confirmed aliens is real. Everybody was like, cool, whatever. We knew that. So it ain't far-fetched that they out there cloning people. I'm just saying, bro. So just know if I just come up missing, because I said it here,
I
You know
mean,
what I'm
you
saying?
had
It's
it
the
one point.
alpha. It's the alphabet boys. It's the alphabet boys, and come find me. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
But
speaking of the alphabet
Which
boys,
ones? The FBI, CIA.
whichever one
Which
come get me, I
we
don't
just
know,
gotta.
bro.
We don't know
I
where to
ain't gonna
start.
lie.
We just gonna just pick one, bro.
Hey, yeah, you
Alphabetical
take,
order.
we are
Yeah.
gonna have a special segment very soon on First Class Podcast on the Instagram page via Culture Corner, where we're gonna talk about the Jess Hilarious situation. There was a situation that where she was involved in to where she answered
How
basically
we get to that
from
from clones?
huh?
How'd you get that from clones?
Nah, you said the alphabet people.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna get
You
Just
tripping, bro? Don't do that. Don't call them that, bro.
bro, that's what he said, bro.
LGBTQIA,
I'm
bro.
just saying.
Just get it right. Just get it right. Just get it right the first time.
Hey,
The alphabet boys is the FBI, CIA, TSA, all of them boys. That's what we talking about.
yeah, I'm not talking about the LGBTQ.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the T's of that situation. So where basically it was a whole lot of that's what it is, bro. I said it right this time. I think I did. I think I did good by clearing that up. But basically it was a situation to where Jess Hilarious had responded to a transgender who basically was trying to say, was a transgender woman that was basically trying to say, hey, women don't own womanhood and they don't own menstrual cycles. We'll get deeper into that in its own entirety. And also, I'm going to try to have a female guest on there. So be on the lookout on the Instagram page to go deeper into that. In addition to that, shouts out to Nicki Minaj, Snoop Dogg, and 21 Savage being the new playable characters that are going to be on Call of Duty. And we're also going to have a segment.
Snoop is making his return. Snoop was already on there beforehand. Let's make that clear.
Oh, he is.
But yeah,
he
was already on one of them before. Yeah, but go ahead. You know, he the go to the gaming world in terms of celebrities like that. But anyway, go ahead. My bad.
We also gonna have another segment to where we get deeper into this generation's hip hop game. Easy, I think you had gave me the info on that one where it said they were voted that Drake, Cole, Kendrick, and Nicki Minaj are the greatest of our generation. So we're gonna get a little deeper into that, as well as No Vaseline versus Hit 'Em Up. That was a big one going on. So that also we got a whole bunch of juicy stuff that's gonna be going on the Instagram page via Culture Corner. Be on the lookout. And back to you, E.
I mean, y'all better go listen to that. That's gonna be fire. You know, I'm gonna be in the comments going in like, you said who, what, did what?
Yeah.
Oh, my fault. I got to spin my chair. That's why I wish I was on the spinning chair. I'm like, back to you, E, and then spin it back around. I should have changed my shirt.
The day that you fall, that's gonna be the best reel we ever have. It's gonna go viral. Because I'm editing that right into the reels, boy.
Just turn like.
I'm adding everything too.
That's funny though.
But real quick, going into the last topic or whatever, it's about Florida. You know, a lot of stuff been going down in Florida as a whole. This one specifically, like I said, the show is talking about the kids back to school and all of that type stuff. Florida passes a bill that basically for teachers. So real quick, I got some notes here real quick. Basically, just for the people who not real hip to it, is that New Florida teaching standard says that African Americans receive personal benefit from slavery, and it was unanimously backed by the Board of Education. So not only does somebody bring this up in a meeting saying like, hey, we should teach about the benefits that African Americans had in slavery. Not only did somebody actually think about that and bring that up, like just bring it up, like, hey, what y'all think about this? Not only that, but it was also backed unanimously. That means everybody in there, whoever had the right to vote on that, all agree with it. Everybody on that board agreed with that from the Board of Education.
I kind of, even though they're gonna do whatever they're gonna do anyway, when I look at as far as self-reflection, I kind of get mad at us for not sticking together, and that BS that Kanye tried to pull when he said that it doesn't look good when black prominent people that got power do some very, very unresponsible type shit that spreads this narrative of it. That you Kanye for that, bro, because you was one of the first people that had power, and you said that ish, bro. They gonna do. They feel we already know how America feel about us as a culture, but it does not help when prominent black people start that BS though, for real. That's
So
all this is BS and rhetoric for real.
with that being said, especially basically with that being said, everybody just you gotta pay attention when it comes to voting and stuff like that. Like I'm not a huge parent teacher type of parent. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. But at the same time, we gotta pay attention on what's bringing brought up into these meetings and boardrooms and stuff like that, especially when it has something that pertaining to do with our children. So, and also, with that being said, is that when it comes to Black history, you should be teaching that in your household anyway. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. So don't, and now is even more of a reason, with that being said right there in Florida, that's even more of a reason for you to start teaching it at home, because if you leaving it up, because when we was coming up, you could leave it to the schools. You know what I'm saying? To a certain extent.
To a certain
like
extent,
I said, I remember when I was young and coming like fourth grade, fifth grade, coming home especially during Black History Month, like, hey mom, I learned about such and such today. You know, and then she took that time, because I was interested, to, you know, embark on a couple other details and situations that I didn't know about. But when you're trying to go in and teach, you're trying to teach that you're trying to teach a new narrative that it was beneficial, that slavery had its benefits for Black folks. Like me personally, I feel like it's pushing too far, and I hope, of course, we don't live in Florida, so I'm hoping that it's a lot of, especially the African American teachers and the parents down there, you know what I'm saying, where this bill passed, are actually fighting to, you know what I'm saying, get that kind of changed, or whatever the next step is. Because
why did they get to Black history instead of like, oh, the Holocaust was beneficial, but then everybody. But what made it? I wonder what exactly made it African American that they like. Oh, look at the benefits. They weren't oppressed at all.
Economic standpoints, repercussions, and traditions passed down from white family to white family. Those are the three obvious answers. Three obvious answers.
Say that again?
So, critical race theory was one. The socioeconomic standards and situations, because think about housing projects. I'm not even going to give the full history lesson here, but look up housing projects. That's something that's not even going to be too hard on your spirit when you look that up. Maybe it will be, but look up housing projects and how they came to exist, or Asthma Alley and all of that. Look that up, and then that's two different scenarios, but stay with me here. And then what was the third? Socioeconomics. How socioeconomics work in general. Right, so we don't live by like the old African like wealth, like equal distribution of wealth, and everybody has wealth, and then we have this big empire based off, you know, systemic wealth. You have wealth, I have wealth, E has wealth, and we spread it, and you know our economy is booming because everybody can afford to buy everybody else's goods. That's not how it works here, clearly. And then what I mean by socioeconomics, traditions, that's what I said, the third thing. Traditions passed down from white family to white family, right? So if the biggest trade in America, Turtle Island, America, whatever they want to call it, whatever we call it America, so I'll just say America. So if slave is the biggest trade, free labor, I mean, what's one of the biggest things now that they always fight? Nike has underpaid workers, or you know, slave wages is what they call it, for lack of a better term. So when you have a company that can lower wages or find a class of people to exploit for those wages, then you make more money. So if you greedy, you're a corporation or a group of corporations, and I'm John D. Rockefeller, and you whoever you want to be, and J.P. Morgan and all these other people. I'm competing with you. I don't care nothing about what they're talking about. And it's not even mutually exclusive to industrial businesses. Look at Walt Disney, with Walt Disney's issues. I can go on forever, man. Like I said, I don't want to get into the historical aspect of everything because we could be here all day. But basically, if you will never feel superior if you don't have anybody to make feel inferior. Long story short. So you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we could take from their culture because it's lucrative. So let's take what we can get from their culture, make this money off of it, but we still got to keep them in a position so they can keep doing it.
So that way they don't together.
Yeah, keep
So
doing it.
and I think on top of that, with them trying to teach it in school, it's like, okay, we seeing the shift that's coming. Like, nah, let's tell all these young kids growing up that it was cool. It was cool. It was cool. We're gonna preach that it was cool. So by the time these kids go from fourth grade learning that slavery was cool and beneficial to now they're 21, 22, 23, you know what I'm saying? Now you're in society, you're a citizen of society. Now your money counts. Now we're gonna keep on stealing from your culture and all of this.
It's slowly systemically enacting slavery. They slowly systemically enacting slavery through these type of laws to make people think it's fine, so that when it happens, you'll be fine.
Yeah, so you'll be okay. So it's no fight. It's no uproar. It's like, okay,
At least I get to be a blacksmith now. Like, what?
Yeah, we can't just do it now because we got too many of these older folks that know their history. You know what I'm saying? We got too many adults that know their history that ain't gonna let some of this stuff fly.
Quiet as it's kept, though. The young kids now, the young generation right behind us is the revolution. They not having it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They not having it.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a certain generation that it's already too late to get to them. So they know they already another 50, 60, 80 years behind the 8 ball. But it's like, hey, what about that 100 years after that? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, let's start with these kids now. Boom. Another 10 years, we got a new class. Okay, another 10 years, we got a new class. You know what I'm saying? Now these kids is getting older, and that impression, like the quote, that impression that was put on them at a young age, now it grows, and now it molds you into your thought process now as you're an adult. You feel me? So like I said, like in this situation, man, you gotta make sure you teaching your kids our history. You know what I'm saying? Your history, Black America. You know what I'm saying? You have to, and it's not, and the thing, and here's the biggest thing, it's not all about slavery, for one. Teach your kids all about the history. You know what I'm saying? Teach them about Mansa Musa. You feel me? It ain't all about Toby and the Underground Railroad. You know what I'm saying?
But even that, just to piggyback off of that, like those people that they took, you think all of those millions of people that they took, nobody was a doctor, nobody was a scientist, nobody was a lawyer, nobody was a architect, nobody knew anything. Everybody was just dumb. That makes no sense. They took doctors, scientists, lawyers, physicists, neurobiologists, marine biologists, and they made them into whatever they wanted them to be. Slavery was not beneficial. It was no way.
What I think is crazy, and actually it's disgusting, now that we're talking about it, is the weather. Okay. So in the grand scheme of things, correct me if I'm wrong or if I'm saying this or looking at this wrong. One of the strongest things that we have in this world is the Black woman. Now, who do you have mainly supporting the agenda of, mind you, it's nothing wrong with being part of the LGBTQ, but you have a lot of our Black women that are gay. It's you gay, I'm gay, we all gay, this, that, and the third. Okay. That was one thing that a lot of people started pushing, a certain type of agenda. Then you have the side agenda that they're pushing towards feminizing Black men. That's another agenda. Then you have the agenda of all these kind of what they have quote unquote industry plants that they're putting in the music industry, especially women, bringing upon the heavy sexualization of our women. Now, true enough, it's always been there in hip hop. It always has been.
It's always been
But
there in
it's
every
now
genre.
even
Look at
more
Madonna.
prominent than ever to where, huh?
I said we can't even say that. That's what they preach to us, just like they preach black on black crime. When black on black crime or crime in general is poverty and poverty, circumstance, and proximity. That's it. So that's what I'm saying. Like they say we over sexualize our black women. Are black women over sexualized? Yes, but Madonna was over sexualized. She wasn't hip hop.
Yeah.
Shakira was over-sexualized. She not hip-hop. They over-sexualized their young stars. Britney Spears was over-sexualized. So they can't come to us in our culture and say, y'all over-sexualize y'all women. So let's make y'all look bad. They can't do that. That's what a hypocrite does. So that's what we got to be careful at, too. That's why people tell me about black on black. Well, we keep killing our own people. Yeah, because of poverty, circumstance, and proximity. If you gave us, or wealth distribution, which is poverty too, if you equal the wealth or gave us equal opportunities or equal education, do you think our communities will be killing each other at whatever rate it is? No, because they're still doing it in their communities at the same rate we do it.
Yeah.
They just don't talk about it. It's black on black crime because they want to demonize us. Go look at the news. See how many white faces you see. Man kills man in store. We don't have a picture yet because I don't know, whatever reason, but we haven't identified him here. Police haven't released his identity. Or why they can take a mass murderer in the Burger King, but they sicking dogs on people. Like, come on, bro. Like,
yeah,
it don't go together. So they telling us one thing. We really need to have our eyes open to the bigger picture. So I don't know. I got passionate about that bit, bro, because I just be hearing words like we doing this, or we over sexualizing our women, or we doing this. Do we do that? Yes, as a community, we do that. But it's not up to them to tell us how to police our culture because they can't police their own culture.
They promote. Okay, for example.
Because they want us divided. That's why they promote it.
Now, and I can see that. And I can see where the whole division thing comes into place. But the same people that own or run the music industry, correct? There's a certain people that want to push that certain narrative as far as music, as far as what gets played on the radio. There are hands at work with that, right? In America, correct?
All over the world, yeah.
All over the world, yeah. But I'm speaking here in America. So if I'm like, all right, there's so many versions or copycats of, let's say, Nicki Minaj, for example, because in our generation, she was one of the best to do it as far as sales, lyrics, blah, blah, blah. Versus, you hear way more of that than you do, I'll say, like a Queen Latifah's UNITY, Unity.
We do, but that's because of what they putting out at this time. But if that's the case, and we saying that that's the only thing that play, why is J. Cole multi-platinum? Why is Kendrick Lamar multi-platinum? Why is Killer Mike going platinum as we speak?
We're talking about women right now.
I'm talking about the music.
Not to one. The original topic wasn't talking about women or men. It was talking about these teachers in the Florida bill.
You're right. We got into it from an education perspective. Then we start asking questions. But yeah.
No, I mean I get it. Y'all was rolling. That's why I was like, all right. But if we want to get technical about it, y'all did.
But real talk though, that's what we taught. Just like they told us in school. Columbus sailed the ocean blue in 1492, Columbus Day, and all that other stuff that they told us. When in reality, these people was misogynists, they was rapists, they was bigots, they was racists. You know what I'm saying? Murderers. But that's okay because why? Because they discovered America. They came in somebody else's house, put their feet on their couch, smacked all their shit off the table, and said, "This is my country." Like, because we trying to move from the oppressor that want to charge us extra on tea. But whatever. Who am I to say?
I think it starts.
So if I come up missing, it's them alphabet boys.
Hey, so James,
'Cause
bro,
they
it's
don't want
gonna
to
be
hear me talk about
it's
this.
gonna be all on you, James, bro. You gotta come find us, bro. You gotta
Yeah,
come find
hey,
us.
bro, you got to use them gaming skills, bro, and get us up too.
Get us up out of here. You know what I'm
Man,
saying? Like,
I
'cause
guess
I'm
it was,
not going quiet.
I
I
guess it was
ain't going
me,
quiet.
Oh no, it's gonna be a
the
scene.
correct alphabet boys to get. I was like, we gonna get there though.
But
Like, not them. Them. Like, oh, okay, I got it. Y'all gonna be like,
I'm gonna
oh,
use
man,
my freedom
we
of
doing.
speech.
We doing.
but
We
but
doing.
the thing is, if anybody got any comments or anything like that, or any new news pertaining to this topic with the Florida bill and teachers and stuff like that, I know, you know, we know a lot of different teachers. You know what I'm saying? Now, comment, man. Let us know how you feel about it. Keep us updated on some news and stuff like that. It's a shame that that's where we're at in this country.
They're losing a lot of teachers that's resigning, and one got a speech. If you type in Florida, like the Florida bill or whatever, Florida bill teacher, it's a video up, and this teacher gave a powerful speech about why he was leaving. He had
Yeah.
been teaching for like 30
So,
something
but
years. Go find that.
but that's what I was saying though, is that as far as the teachers, I hope it's not. I'm hoping they're not just resigning and leaving it, letting it lie. You know what I'm saying? Of course, it's going to be an uproar. So, you know, it is what it is. And I hope they keep fighting, you know what I'm saying, that cause or whatever. But before we go, we already a little bit over an hour. You feel me? I don't have anything else as far as right now. So do you got any closing arguments while we waiting on James, or closing statements? Anything going on before we get out of here?
No, I would just say, pay attention. Don't believe everything that's been spilled to you, including the other side, because you got one side that's telling you false history, and then you got the other side that's telling you false conspiracies. Don't be believing the two. Don't go too far to the left, too far to the right. It's gonna be bad. You're gonna be confused. So go research stuff for yourself, y'all. So don't just believe everything you hear. Go research the stuff yourself. Also, like E said, teach your kids at home as much as you can when you have the time to. Don't just rely on the school system to raise your children. That's not the way that it was intended by the creator, and it's not the way it should be intended by a parent. When you get home, have those conversations, spread that love to your kids, put them values into your kids. But other than that, I don't got nothing else.
All right. What about you, James? You got any closing words, closing arguments before we get out there?
It's kind of like what C said for real. A big important thing about it is to educate yourself, so that way you do know, just like C said. And I say the important topic of a culmination of all the topics today is also not only push your kids, but be very careful into what you pour into your kids. Be very, very careful about that impression that you leave on them, like we talked about earlier. Be very careful about what you teach your kids, because a lot of this stuff, even with issues with the world, like all that, it's all a taught behavior. Naturally, it isn't like that, but it's about be careful what you pour into your kids. You know what I mean?
Oh, real quick, you said you made a real valid statement about Kanye, but 2004, 2008 Kanye was speaking facts. They taught us to hate ourselves and love their wealth. That's why shorties holler where the ball is at. Nothing more need to be said. But anyway,
Yeah.
But,
That's. I mean, just be careful about what you pour into your. And then too, just like C said, teach them that, hey, if you're not really sure something sounds a little off, you got a whole mega computer, every single kid has one. Use your phone. If you don't know something, get on YouTube, get on Google. It's written somewhere. Somewhere it's written. If you look up something you still ain't sure, find another source. Go to the library. Look at this. Look at that. Until you can come up with your own inference or conclusion about certain subjects. Don't just be lost and be going off what other people say. Do your own research, and that's what I mean by be careful about what you imprint into your kids.
all right, cool. Well, I think y'all pretty much covered it, so there's no need for me to say the same thing y'all both just said.
you don't want to argue about who the greatest is to end the show?
There's no need to argue about that. We all know it's me.
Me? Oh, okay.
Oh,
I said me. You said me.
All right. Him Duncan. You know what I'm saying? Him Hardaway. Him
Okay.
the 2-man Taylor. You know what I'm saying?
I'm Himofi Mozgov.
Oh, okay.
I just wanted to say Himofi.
In Boheme. Shout out the game.
I'm
But
gonna call him right after this.
But nah, we're gonna get up out of here, man. Like I said, they pretty much hit the nail on the head. Just, this episode was about the kids. Parents just don't understand.
See,
It's hard out here for these kids.
Oh, before I forget, be sure to follow the new Instagram page. First_class_podcast_937, where a lot of new content is going to be coming out. Check out the Instagram page and follow and get ready to be amazed.
Hey, you do know I'm a host, right?
Nah, he forgot. He must have forgot.
Right. Like I got like that's my job. I got all of that covered. You feel me? That's why I was about to. You feel me?
Oh, well, that's one thing you got to. That's one less thing you got to do. You good? You're welcome.
All right. Bye. Like, nah, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, y'all covering everything. Like, I ain't got nothing to say. Yeah. So
stay tuned for the anime show coming out real soon.
You know what? Y'all got it. Y'all do it.
You was looking confused, bro. I just wanted to drop that in there. Anime show, Anime Maniacs. You know what I'm saying? With your boy on there. Follow E Carter.
Nah, I got y'all. But nah, like I said, man, everybody, thank you for tuning in to the show. Thank you for the people that did leave their comments and concerns. Appreciate it. Like Siege said, he does be on the lookout. He does have an anime show called The Animaniacs coming out pretty soon. Go ahead and check that out. Like James did mention, check out the new Instagram page. We will be sending, having some reels and some clips and stuff like that up there. He will be introducing and bringing his Culture Corner segment into more of a show and more content pertaining to that as well. So be on the lookout for all of those new things coming up. Other than that, man, take care of your kids. Try not to stress yourself out with just back to school shopping. Act like you got some sense on tax free. But if I can't get no folders, somebody gonna be in trouble. So, with that being said, man, y'all stay safe. Also, stay dangerous. And as we always say at this time, if you're gonna fly, you might as well fly first class. We out.
First Class Podcast.